Hello everybody and welcome back. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm Count Christo and this is the Light of the East campaign. We are going to be paying off our loan. We had two leaders die in relatively quick succession. The previous one was generally thought of as mad, so I suppose it's not too surprising. We currently have someone who increases the construction costs. So it's I'm not going to lie, it's a little bit tempting to just save up money during his entire life. This is the min-maxer within me, and then you know, just save up money for his entire life and then go after the buildings once he dies, so we no longer have the negative modifier. We are also finishing up the integration of the Mamlukian lands, and as you can see, the autonomy in a lot of these provinces is beginning to come down, beginning to hit a floor, but we'll see. Plague has finally ended. Good. How low did our population go? We didn't lose that many, to be honest. Really want this craftsman's district in Constantinople. That is the main goal right now. We can get some money on a pretense of a loan, and I am going to do it because that craftsman's district, I'm going to build it before I even pay off this loan, because when this isn't due for another like 6 years anyway, right? Oh, okay, 3. Fine. I'll pay the loan off first, but we're going to. We really want to build this craftsman's district pronto, because that's a colossal amount of additional silk. Like right now, we're making, because the way I don't know if I've explained this in this campaign yet, but the first 80,000 population, like there's room for 80,000 population to create 0.95 urban production power per 1,000, and then after that you get 0.1. So the ones after that are 9.5 times less effective, which obviously means that they kind of suck, right? So we're going to go from having 80,000 people making 0.95 to having 160,000 making 1. So this is effectively double the production power. It's not quite, right? Because the 0.1 also applies to some others and all that good stuff. But it also increases the 0.1 to a 0.2, a 100% effectiveness on those that don't fit within the slot. Right now, the silk production here is making us 14 ducats a year. That's, pretty incredible. It's also making us a bunch of trade value, which we're turning into cash because we're collecting most of the trade value. So that 14 ducats, we can expect that to get to, the obvious number to say is 28, but we might be able to get it as high as 30 because a lot of the population is over that 160 and it's going to be using that 0.2. A level 3 diplomatic reputation guy that is 50% off. Yes, please. I will very well. I'm not actually going to use you straight away because we're really using the unrest down right now. But in the fullness of time, I'll definitely recruit him. Doom badum. So Diplotech, yes, I will pay extra mana just so we can get the lovely ahead of time bonus. Speaking of the ahead of time bonus, how are we doing on the Renaissance? Okay, so it's spreading nicely through Italy. Surely we're going to be able to get it from Palermo. Well, the problem is we still have this regional art and culture centre. I really want to build the building over there, but I also really want to build an art corporation in Athens. You know what? In MEIOU and taxes, money greater than monarch points. A lot of the time. We're going to build the corporation centre first, then we're going to look at Athens and we're going to build the art centre. Those are our priorities. Because if we can get this art corporation built, we should be able to get a centre of culture here, art and intellectual centre, which will let us then hopefully get the institution over from Palermo, which will be good. In the fullness of time, of course, we'll own all of Palermo, which will be good. Because if you're not familiar with this campaign, this is the European border that we are aiming for. Death of the Empress Dowager. The Empire will mourn her for 3 days, or state lands in her memory. No, we will mourn her for 3 days. 3 days is enough. We don't need to go overboard. Our manpower is getting up there, 116,000, and of course the ones that we called later are going to have a bigger and bigger impact on manpower. We have another 54,000 coming in as these, which will be pretty darn good. Getting there on that reform. When is the Mamluks truce? 47. So I think what we're going to do against the Mamluks is a short war in which we get this, maybe take no land. Well, I'm conflicted. The thing is, it's all Sunni, right? So we get basically no rebels in the Mamluks land. No, let's just take all the Mamluks land and eat the fact that we're going to be back at high overextension. The thing is, I really want to take printing press and get towards our next idea group and take state religion. But then again, no, you know what? I think we delay our idea group yet further. I think we take like all of the Mamluks land in this next war, and then we just go even further behind on administrative tech. We should definitely take Cairo in the next war. Yes, this is absolutely true. Get the glorious Continental Art and Culture Center. Are you getting Renaissance? No, unfortunately not. Even with the Continental. If the Continental Art and Culture Center wasn't in Paris, it was over here. Oh, hang on, actually. Renaissance probably hasn't spread to Paris yet, right? Oh, no, it has. Okay. Yeah, if the Continental Art and Culture Center was like in Palermo, it could definitely reach here, but we'll see. I think in this war we're basically going to take all of the Mamluks land. Because, I mean, we took more than half of it last time. I know it doesn't necessarily look like that in terms of footprint, but I think we took more than half of their land last time. Now the question is, manpower is beginning to rise. Do we want to do a war against Karakinu first? I think the Jalarids are a bit of a pushover. Karakinu is a rebellious, decentralized vassal. So we could fight, you know, if we could just kind of skirt through their lands and get to the Jalarids, we could fight the Jalarids and then we could fight them without them intervening. What's this? Austria is fighting Bohemia. Interesting. Well, at the beginning of the game, we threw our whole army away this way. I love Bohemia kind of bullying Austria. Hey, Austria, would you like an army for the low cost of free? No land access to capital. Right, yes, fair enough. I'm never going to get land access to your capital because Hungary's in the way. Okay, never mind. Yeah, the thing about this Karakinu area is that we're just going to give it to Armenia. And I don't care how much money it makes Armenia. Speaking of giving money to people, should we move the Crimean capital? I don't think we should, because we don't really care about Crimea. Because they're just tribes, right? They basically don't urbanize. So I don't think it really matters how much autonomy the different areas have. Why is the autonomy here so low? State, local autonomy. I mean, this still seems surprisingly low. Anyway, you put your capital in the right place, didn't you? Yours is in a fine place. Okay. We could also... Oh, I'm an idiot. Here's how we can get to war with Hungary. Yeah. This works. All we have to do is declare war on Wallachia. Speaking of declaring war, got any allies we could get? Not really. We could just declare war on Wallachia, and that calls in Hungary, and then we could get these two provinces. That could be good. Yeah. The more I think about this, the more I like the idea. And we could also subjugate Moldova in the same war. Because Moldova is pretty low development, right? Oh god, it's 30 development here. Okay. Well, it's going to be painful, but we could still do it. Our aggressive expansion against the Christians is only bad against Hungary, basically. And sure, Wallachia, but, I mean, no one asks for Wallachia. Hungary has 12,000 men. Wallachia has 6,000 men. Yeah, let's finally go to war. For the first time in this 3-hour stream. Mobilize the men. We have the homeland pretty much taken care of on a rebel front. let's get people up here. We can, as people are pointing out very correctly, yes, we can use this as a moment to force Austria to break their alliance with the French, which will be good. Now, do we do this as a looting war? I think the answer is no. We just do a little gentle war against Hungary. We just do a quick little grab these two provinces, vassalize Moldova. And then remember, the plan against Moldova is to feed them like all of this land and then take their heartland away from them. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, sorry, Hungary. Hungary is supposed to need to break the alliance with the French. It's 10 to midnight is my excuse for any and all linguistical mistakes I make. Yeah, going to war with Hungary before the Mamlukian truce ends is good because it prevents them both ever ending up in the same coalition. If we were to, by mistake, permit those two things to happen at the same time, to be capable of joining. Do I want to give up 400 ducats and -1 unrest? I really actually don't, because 5 legitimacy is in itself like not -1 unrest, but it's like -0.5 or something, 0.4. That's pretty good. And the 400 ducats really need to go towards a freaking craftsman's district, which we urgently need. You're going to take so long to walk over here. I'm actually going to temporarily lower. Sorry, I just had to clear my throat there. I'm going to temporarily lower army maintenance because I really want this freaking craftsman's district, man. It's going to be so good for our income. And then I think the craftsman's district is a good priority. And then another craftsman's district in Chaldiki. How vital is that one? Not as vital. 114,000 here. So it's obviously the first 160. We might want to build a... well, certainly a warehouse there first, but not yet, because we need that. We need to spend it here. In the fullness of time, Wallachia, I like the idea of a subject in Wallachia for at least some time. Let's do a quick one first. Are you making any progress in Adana? No. Well, partly because of the religious controversy, though. That's not lasting much longer, is it? Remember, the more we convert people, the less impact the jizya poll tax will have. Okay, it's at 40% and not making any progress. I'm going to cancel it. I'm going to cancel it and just start an easier one. Have we got another one listed? Why do I only have 2 missionaries all of a sudden? I don't. I just have 1 free still. Okay, cool. Go there. Okay, I think we can finally afford... No, 1 more month, come on. I have to raise army maintenance now because they're getting into position. And, yeah, we're going to send... I'm going to split this army, I think. We should do a rebalance. I think that's the best way. Because we need to have a big army in the east and the west, such that whichever way the Hungarians and Wallachians kind of unify, we have a big enough army to prevent them. So, you know, wars are famously very cheap. So I'm just going to spend, you know, 1,400 ducats on this massive urbanization project in Constantinople, just before I declare this war. That seems fine. Okay, you go over here, and you split. Half of you go over here, half of you go over here. Good. And we will siege here and here simultaneously. And we will siege here and here, and then go and grab some small forts that the Hungarians have in here. And I'm glad we grabbed Banat, because it's going to help defend us against any attempts at Hungarian aggression. We could take this, but I'm not going to, because we're going to need the admin points, all of them, to core the vast quantities of Mamlukian territory we're about to yoink from them. So now we need to be careful in how much sieging we do in this war, and we need to only take advantageous fights, because we have not very much manpower, certainly not enough for a massive siege war against Hungary. So, just check. You are still allied to France, yes? Yes. And you won't just do it, break it for lols. No, okay, fair enough. So we're not going to full call them. I'm going to make the goal ballad. Is that not one of... Okay, it's one of the only ones I don't have a claim on. This one then. Bralia. Bralia. And we might as well call the Blue Horde in. Because, you know, why not? They can come loot Hungary for me. Oh god, Cardies allied them? Come on. Let's assume that our puppets plus the Blue Horde are going to deal with them. You can come in here, you can come in here. And we'll be a bit aggressive on the number of units we use for sieges. To try and keep our armies safe. I really don't want to have any surprises again. And we're actually not going to appropriate church property because I like having 3 missionaries. The little blue forts all over the place are local fortifications. They're low-level, easy-to-siege forts that are created by local nobles. And they increase the amount of autonomy in the provinces that they're built in. And nobles build them when they feel that their land is not protected enough by your big forts. They're a cool addition to the game. They don't exert zones of control. They make forts a little bit more dynamic. So I am going to move this. Well, no, actually, I'm going to be conservative. We're going to get these sieges done, and we're going to move up together. Asterisk. I'll take the chance at stability points, please, because of asterisk. So yes, what we want from you. You can't demand subjugate vassalization of subjects until you actually siege their capital, but what we're going to want from you is these... Oh, Jesus Christ. 79 aggressive expansion. Okay, what we're going to want from you is breaking your alliance with France and war reparations, and that's it. And then this will give us a truce that is a mere... whatever that is, 7 years long. And then we can go to war with them again with a 3-year window in which we have no truce with them and they're not able to ally France yet. That is the plan. And we're not going to take these guys as a subject, which means I don't necessarily need to focus my sieging efforts so much over here. So you guys can come down here. One cav can fall back, and the cav can fall back. Cool. Just going to try and, yeah, as I was mentioning, minimizing attrition, if at all possible. Well, it's frustrating that we're not going to be able to complete this mission and fix our frankly horrendous Serbian borders, but oh well. We tried. Breaking the alliance with France will facilitate us doing it in the fullness of time anyway, so it's not so bad. And as soon as we've got this siege done, I'm going to siege pest and sit the guys in Pex so that we can make sure that we get the war score required against Hungary nice and quickly. So we can get these guys as a subject in one war. The only slight problem is that it causes a actually insignificant coalition. Okay, I think I'm just going to vassalize Wallachia in this war. I can take this coalition. It does put Poland in. Poland's a little scary. Poland is scary. How many men do you have, Poland? Poland has 17,000 men. Wallachia obviously can't join it. Hungary has about 17,000 of themselves. Poland has about 17,000. So when and Naples has probably not very many these days because they're getting crushed. The problem is that this coalition plus the Mamluks would be extremely No, it wouldn't be dangerous. I'm forgetting that in MEIOU and taxes, coalition wars declaring on you is almost a blessing because you get to use the defensive war bonuses from the estates, which means we'd just be able to raise up a truly staggeringly large number of units for free. So I should stop worrying and learn to love the coalition. This is something that I've never really internalized and then acted on in MEIOU and taxes, which is that defensive provinces is co-belligerent statuses. Co-belligerent statuses. Coalitions are much much less scary. Because yes, they can be annoying about slowing expansion, but you can beat them like a very large proportion of the time because of the fact that you get those incredible ability to get free men from your estates when you're in defensive wars. Bum bum bum. Bosnia is a silver mine, yeah. So that's obviously very valuable. And they have got a good mine complex there. And the other one is a salt mine, which is only slightly less than half as valuable as the silver mine, which is quite funny. You're not going to attack me, are you? I suspect that would go badly for you. Dun, dun, da, dun. We will give them state support and go... No, we can't do policy of tolerance, but we can allow the construction. Yes, silver definitely ups the value, but the value in peace deals is just tied to the development, I believe. It's not... yeah, it's based from development. Okay, and also local trade power. And then obviously local autonomy and size in Hungary affect it, and our admin efficiency affects it as well. Can't walk there, can I? No. How many siege ships you got? 2 to my 3. Okay, in that case, let's send in this general and extract this one. Dum. So we will take the time to full siege down Wallachia, obviously, because we're going to vassalize them in this war, and then we'll have 3 nice little northern meat shield vassals sitting between us and the Christians. Which is good. It lets us focus to the east, and we have plenty of conquest to be done to the east. Really, really plenty. We've got all the conquest we could possibly want waiting for us in the east. Dum dum dum. You guys can merge up. The 3rd cannon. Right, we'd need a 4th. Could barrage it, but it's already at 35. That's fine. I might barrage Arges, Args. Not sure how one would properly say that. We could also, of course, spend all our points to get all this lot, but... Oh, surprise, Poland. Sorry, Hungary. Suddenly, you're no longer protected by your fort. Oh, we should get out of here, he decides. About 3 days. 3 days, or alternatively, a month too late. Sucks to be you. Big rip for Hungary with the 14 discipline advantage. Yes, bye-bye, Hungary. Okay, you can go now. No, they don't have a war score yet. Well, we're going to continue to play a little conservatively. And just siege, you know, bit by bit. Bum bum bum. Not catching them? Outrageous. Taking a bit more attrition than I'd like, but the war against the Mamluks should be trivial. Yep, this is why we have meat shields. All of the stuff is falling outside of our urbanized areas, which is great. I did totally forget about the eastern flank of the war, I'm not going to lie. It is 4 minutes past midnight, in my defense. Dum, dum, dum. Let's not needlessly take attrition. 3% attrition with the 15 stack. That seems lacking in prudence. I don't know how many cannons I would need to barrage this. It's 3, right? Because it's level 3 fort. I think that's right. Okay. The Macedonians, they're brave, charging into the forest mountains here. I don't know why Serbia is not moving their army to help me in any of these wars. It's curious, to say the least. We should have started taking their trade earlier to pull more out of here and then down here, but oh well. Up to 71 in the capital node now. It's pretty good. Pretty good indeed. And yes, got our sensor production functioning properly down in the south again. I will definitely send this guy onto here. This is level 1, so I only need 3 here. This is level 2, so I only need 5 here. And could technically try this level 1 siege with 2. It's possible it'll get slowed down by attrition ticks, but that's not the worst thing. So it's kind of absurd how many of these MEIOU Tax episodes I've recorded over the last 5 days. Oh, not 5 days, like, I guess it's like 8 days now. 7, whatever. Because I'm getting married in like 3 months. I've recorded so many episodes that because they come out twice a week, I have episodes coming out the day of my wedding already. Like I have them scheduled that far in advance, which is kind of freaking me out a bit. That makes the fact that I have YouTube videos scheduled for then kind of makes it seem a bit sooner, huh? But yeah, I just thought that was fun. But I've recorded, I should check the numbers. I have recorded a very large number of these recently. I think I'm up to like 25 episodes recorded of this series. In the last 5 days. Yeah, Zangra, I'm getting married. It's been like 8 years that I've been with my now fiance, so it's about time. Roll the what's the game? What's the hell it's about time game? I should know this. It's StarCraft 2, isn't it? My man getting pre-wedding jitters? Nah. We've been living together for like 3 years, going out for 8, so it's all good stuff. It's StarCraft 2 noob. Shut up, Kane. Yeah, I should have put that on Facebook for the announcement. Consolidate the power of the French crown. They have PU'd Brittany. They've PU'd one province, Brittany, after conquering the rest. Nice. You do you, France. Alright, what were we building next after this thing? It was a craftsman's district in Chaldiki as well, right? Because you have... No, that's not enough. Was it here? No. Girls love wedding game references in vows. I suspect that would not be wise. It was here that I wanted it, right? Did you have 90,000? Yeah. Let's build the corporation guild there. Down here you've got 70,000, so probably also good for a corporation guild. How you doing? 14 war score now. Will you take it? No. How much money have you got to give? 600 ducats. I think I'd rather not spend the manpower for 600 ducats. I mean, we don't need to rush this peace deal though, because we'll see. Did you add the sub-clauses to the vows? I did not. That sounds like a very strange question. If you haven't been playing the political game that many of us have, that Paradox set up. But I have been editing a lot of bills recently, and to many of them I have been adding, sub-clauses and things like that. And then after a long evening of writing bills for this game, I was writing my vows, and I did find myself wanting to add a sub-clause, which was pretty entertaining. We could also look at building some just some workshops around the place for cheap, because they ramp up the number of they do 40,000. They ramp up the number of production centers you can have if you have just lots of workshops in an area. There's also a risk of kind of going too wide though. If there's a limit to how much food you have in an area, you want it to be concentrated. So I'm never really sure whether I should build more workshops or whether I should just try and concentrate everything. But the next thing we should build is the Athens Art Corporation. So let's keep focused on that. 630. And by keep focused, I mean return our focus. Because obviously I strayed somewhat with that corporation guild in wherever it was. Here. That'll be good though. Plus it's a silver mine, which is nice. What is this song? This is definitely one of the top ones. Stonemasons, that's right. I've looked this up before. Just wipe out this Moldovan force, please. The coalition here is going to include Poland, but the thing is, it was basically always going to. Or am I taking double aggressive expansion because Wallachia is not a co-belligerent? I can't remember how that works. No, because they are a co-belligerent, you moron. They're the people you declared the war on. Oh, hello. Hungary showed up with their actual army to fight me. Oh, that was a mistake. now the army's dead. That was foolish, wasn't it? Why'd you go and do a silly thing like fight with your whole army against one small portion of mine in favourable terrain? Didn't you know how terribly that would go for you? Poor Hungary. I could play as Hungary next to try and kind of make up for it, but I'm thinking I might play as Poland. What I want to do next, and obviously this is a long way off, because it takes a very, very long time to finish a game of MEIOU and Taxes. We're less than a fifth of the way through, and we're like 40-something episodes deep. So it's going to take a while, but I'd quite like to play a game as Poland because the way I normally play, Ottomans, Romans, Milan, Castile, England, Ming to a much lesser extent, are mostly coastal nations, where the communication efficiency is basically based around the idea that you're going to be able to, you know, you're basically just, you're operating on a network of ports and then roads from those ports to other places. Whereas if you play as them, oh no, the game crashed. Oh well. You're basically operating from a network of ports and then roads from those ports. Whereas if you play as Poland, that creates a very different experience, basically. Florence is great. Yeah, I should play as Florence at one point. But I mean, I did Milan already, so. The game... Oh my god. You can't see this, can you? Let me turn on display capture so you can see the madness that I'm currently seeing. That is a weird crash. It's the whole game is up there. Like you can see the outliner and the minimap. It's just a little ditty game in the top left. Well, it's a good thing it happened at the end of the episode anyway. Minimalist UI, exactly. Thank you very much for watching, everybody, on YouTube. It's been a great pleasure to have you with me. I will see you in the next episode with a slightly larger UI, because some of you are complaining that this one's hard to read. Bye.